She was doing all these things, keeping herself busy, while the lady sat on the bench, and I could see her thought process. I saw these things pop up, and she was wondering, well, should I get up and help? Should I just sit here? Should I get up and leave? I immediately understood what God was showing me in this vision. You see, the first lady represented the church, and how we bring people into the kingdom by having them say a simple prayer. And then we get busy doing whatever we are doing, and we leave that new believer to fend for themselves. I've seen this time and time again. One of the things I did as a youth pastor is we brought in this individual. His name was Mark Anderson, and he was an Olympic decathlete. He was an evangelist, and he had a way of getting into the schools and sharing his story, and kids would they would listen, they would hear it, and they would respond. And then we would have different things in different schools throughout the weeks that we had him up here, and then it would all culminate at one school where we would do this massive event. We brought out different Oilers and Eskimos, and we had just an amazing time. And then that was on the Friday night, and then on Saturday night we'd invite them to a church service. And we would have people come in, and we would just minister to these kids. And this was our little church running this whole thing. At that one event alone, we had 200 kids commit their life to Christ. Now, as a youth pastor who is part-time and working a full-time job, the first thing that hit me was, what do I do with 200 kids? So I called up every youth pastor I knew, and I said, hey, I got 3 kids in your neighborhood. They accepted Christ. Can you follow up with them? And I spent hours and hours following up with every single person I knew to make sure every single kid was connected. I learned a very valuable lesson that day, or that during that time period, is evangelism is completely useless unless you have a way to connect those people afterwards.